Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today we're going to do another 12 by 12 sheet project, and we're going to make a 15-piece set. So I had to really kind of think hard about this, what I wanted to do with it. A lot of pockets, so that's good because we like pockets, tags and pockets. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you like my video, I just ask that you give me a thumbs up. And I drew it out on this graph paper. And I really don't know if you can zoom it in and see what I did. But on this side I have two tags. Then I have a pocket, couple corner pockets, topper for a notepad. I have 3 pockets over here. In the center I have a mini folio. Down here on the bottom I have a trifold pocket. Then I have, let me see, these two were pockets. This is a pocket. This pocket here goes with the little tag over here because that's how I had to draw it out. And then I have 3 little tags for the trifold pocket, and this extra piece will just make a ruffle out of it. So I almost didn't think I was going to be able to use every little piece, but I worked with it and it got there. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. First, I think we'll start off with, okay, I knew as soon as I started my video, the dryer would buzz. So I guess first we'll start out with some pockets and tags. So we have a small pocket and a large pocket and a tag for each of them. And the decorating on these aren't going to be a lot. Just have to make sure I have the pocket the right way. I'm just going to put these little jar flowers on them with some lace. Yeah, I think that's going the right way. And I'll tell you the sizes for these. This the small pocket is 3 by 2.5. The large pocket is 4.5. Let me measure it, make sure I'm putting it the right way. Let me see. No, that's the tag. The large pocket is 3 by 3. So the large pocket goes this way. I don't think it matters, it's a square, right? Okay, so I want my design to go up and down. And then if you find when you get ready to glue it into your journal or whatever you're using it in, if you have to trim your tag just a little bit, that's not a big deal. So I rounded all my corners. I'm not going to ink because I don't think it needs inked. And I'm just using single-sided paper again. Single-sided scrapbook paper. Let me move this up just a little bit. Well, now that's not where it belongs. It belongs over just a little bit farther. We have to try to center it a little bit, right? Okay. And then I'll just glue this one on. Now I rounded my corners on all of the tags. I didn't do any of the, you know, like cutting them like this. I didn't do any of that. I just rounded all of them. I just figured it would be easier. So if you want them angle cut like you do normally for a tag, you can do that. Okay. So we'll glue these on. And after we glue these on, we'll do our lace. Once you get your papers all cut out, this project will move right along real fast. If you have a certain journal that you're working on and you have paper to match it and you wanted to do like a whole set of pockets and stuff like that, this would work good. And if you don't have 12 by 12 but you have smaller pieces, well, you can still do that. You just cut them out of your smaller pieces. Now I'm going to put lace across the bottom of my tags or my pockets. Just run it off the side a little bit and then I can trim it. And I thought, because I wrote on the back of these, because we're not going to see them, so I would know what was what. I didn't write on the back of this because that'll be a journaling spot. Now on my tag, I should have something. I could do like this hanging up there. Let me see what it would look like if I put the lace across the top. I don't know. I could just put the lace across the bottom and then just add a topper thing to it, I guess. I don't want to make it look funny. But like I say, I'm not decorating them much, so. And this is a nice bright paper, so it needs something on it. And the lace is small and dainty, so it's not like it sticks out a whole lot. Just helps to add something to it. So let's see what a little topper would look like on it. It's not stiff enough to stand up, and with the corners rounded, I don't know if we really need anything on it. I'm not sure about that one. Now, if you do put lace on the bottom of your tag, you just have to be careful that it's not like a dimensional lace, because you might have a hard time getting it down into your pocket once it's glued in. And you don't have to put lace on it if you don't want. It's completely up to you. I thought about the lace for the bottoms of them, but I guess I really didn't think about a topper. But I do that well. I do part of it and don't think of the rest of it. But what can I say? So that would be that set. Let me just trim these off a little. That doesn't look good sticking out there. So like I say, on this tag with them dimensions, you may have to cut just a little tiny bit off but you wouldn't know until you glued them down. So, and the tags have lots of journaling space, so that's a good thing. So as far as the topper, I would say, well, we'll let you figure that part out. Okay? So that's one part. Now, I think I'll do the little trifold. So I have tags that go with it. Now this measures 9 inches by 4 inches, so I scored it every 3 inches. And then at the bottom, I scored up 1.5 inches. Now down here in this little scored part here, I'm going to cut just a little tiny bit out, make like a little V shape so it doesn't bind too much. So just a little on each side of the score line. And when it folds, it should fold over easier. And if it doesn't, then that means I didn't do it right. Maybe I went over too far. Let's try that. That's better. Okay, so I better cut from this side so I can see what I'm doing. I think I still cut it over too far. Let's see. Yeah, just a little bit. So let's cut a little bit more off of this side. I'm having a little bit of trouble with my eyes, so sometimes I just have to go back and recut it again. All right, so all we're going to do is glue our pockets just on the 2 sides. Just try to stay like towards the edge so you have plenty of space for your tags. And I rounded my corners on this also. You don't have to do that either. Oops. That one wasn't right on the edge for sure. Okay. So let's see how it folds. That one will fold in and that one will fold over. Let me make sure my tags fit. Yes. That's good. And that's good. Okay. Now, for my tags, I put the same little jars. That's the decorations for all of them. And these were just digitals. But I thought the colors and the flowers went good with the scrapbook paper. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to glue these on. And then we're just going to add some lace. So I have 3 different size jars on here. Now, for my pockets, I didn't think about putting something on my pockets. I could have put maybe like a greenery on them. Maybe I should do that. But we'll continue with what we're doing right now. See, that's what I say. Sometimes I think of things after the fact. It'll be the same way with these pockets at the top. If you want them angled, you can angle them. You can put a topper on them. I just figured it would be quicker and easier to just round my corners. I guess quicker is not always better, but at that time the idea was good. All right, so there's our first pocket. And I don't know, I could probably just put a little, I might just put a little lace across there too instead of going and finding some greenery, because this is a little bit of a lacy project. I like the brighter colors and lace too. I don't like everything to be grungy. When I started out doing this stuff many years ago, I did scrapbooking, so it was bright scrapbooking papers and stuff like that. So I still like that stuff too. I like to mix it up a little bit. And I have oodles of 12 by 12s, so that's why I like these 12 by 12 projects, because I can use some of this paper that I've had for years. Okay, so these two tags are the same size. This one is a little bit bigger just because that's how the measurements worked out. So let me see. This one is 2.5 inches tall. It's 2 1/4 wide, 2.5 inches tall. These are 2 1/4 inch square. So that's the size of them. Now let me see. I'm just going to go ahead and put some lace across the pocket. I think that'll be just fine. That'll finish the inside of it. Because, you know, you can decorate it however you want it. Everybody has their own likes. I'm going to put that one there. And hopefully I'm getting it kind of straight. That one there. And that one there. Have to make sure that I don't glue my little trifold shut. Trim that off a little bit. I have a little pencil line down here. I can erase that off. Now I'm going to shut it. Well, I'm going to open it this way, but I don't want to close them yet. I want them to dry good. So now on the front, this is just a piece of dryer sheet. The dryer sheets that I use, I don't buy the ones that are overly fragrant. So this one's just lightly fragranced, so when it comes out of the dryer, there's no smell left in it. And everybody uses everything for all different ways of decorating, so, and you know, recycling. So I thought I would give it a shot. So I'm going to use that underneath my jar. And you can see through it, so I like the way it looks as a background. Let's see. I think it looks fairly straight. Fairly straight is good. I'm just going to cut it off. And now I'm going to put my jar over it. Let me see, I better use this. Oh, not that much glue. After you use Fabri-Tac for a little while, it gets a little wild. Okay, so we'll glue that down. I have a little, here it is. I was going to say I have a little word here somewhere. And then I'm going to put my lace over it, just so it, you know, matches the rest of it. How's everyone doing today? Didn't even ask. So engrossed in what I'm doing here. Now, because this is kind of bare down here, I'm just going to put this here, and it says happiness. I have lots of glue on my fingers. Okay. So that's just going to fold like that. Now on the back of them, if you wanted to add other pockets, you could add other pockets with it. I think instead of putting a closure or something on this, you could probably just use a paper clip. And we have lots of paper clips that we made. I think I'm going to go off and get the glue off my fingers, and I'll be right back. Okay, so while I was off, I found this paper clip. I made this quite a while back in one of my other videos, so if you're interested in my altered paper clips, you can just check them out. And it'll just clip on the side. And I think the color goes good. So there's that one. Now I didn't even think about my fancy on my arm. I don't have a real tattoo. At my granddaughter's birthday party, we all got tattoos, so it's starting to wear off a little bit. So Grandma's ready to take it off of there. But, you know, in time. All right, now I got them are done. That's done. We're going to do the mini folio now. So it's just this on the outside, It's going to have a little notepad in it. I'm going to have a couple pockets. We're going to have a jar on the outside, of course. We're going to have a couple pockets. And some decorations. So I think we'll go ahead. Maybe I should put my jar on the outside first. It's going to open this way. Give me half a second. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so I think we'll put this on the front first. Now let's see. I actually think that I like this. So I think I want to put a little bit of this on here. So I'll just cut some out. And that'll tie it into the other piece also. Yeah, I think I'll like that. So we'll put some glue. I'll just trim this off in just a second, and I'll tell you the size of this. Now, what you always could do for this pattern is, when I held it up, if I hold it long enough, and if it's in the whole shot, I don't know if it's in the whole shot, I could probably, you know, do part and then part for you, and you can screenshot it. Sometimes I do that when I want to make sure I have the pattern. So when I get done here, I'll try to remember to hold it up or just lay it here on the desk and see if we can get it clear in view, and you can screenshot it, and then you'll be able to zoom in on it. Okay, so I'm going to put that about there. Now I think, because this is so narrow, I'm going to put a couple little layers of this on. Used my other glue, but I'll try this. It should hold it. And if it doesn't hold it, and I'll use my Fabri-Tac, I don't think it's going to hold it. Guess I answered my own question really, really fast. And I'll trim them off in a second. If you can hear anything, it's just my neighbor outside working. Just overlap that a little bit. And now you can leave it hang off the bottom too if you want. Okay. Well, let's see. I wonder, since this is so big, I don't think I like it up there. Maybe I would put a little greenery down there, just as extra little added decoration. Try not to get too much of this glue on it, otherwise it'll just seep out everywhere. And then I'll have it all over my fingers again. Okay. And that just dresses that up a little bit. So that's cute. All right, now we're going to put our pockets inside. And even though I wrote there, the pocket is going to cover it up. Let me see, this is 6.5 by 5. This little pocket is 3 inches by 1.25 inches. Both little pockets are. And then my notepad I made about 4 5/8 by 3. And then the little topper, well, it was just a piece that was left over, so it's about 3/4 inch by 3. So I made sure that I could use every little piece. So I'm only going to do the three sides. Put this one down here. And I have it more over towards this edge than I do that edge. You can set it however you want. And I made marks for my next pocket. So I'm going to glue that right about there. Now I didn't have extra paper left for these tags, so all these are mini file folders. No, they're not mini file folders, they're mini index cards. I cut the bottom off of these. I just folded them in half. I cut the bottoms off of these so they would fit up here in the top. So that's journaling space. I'm going to fold these 2 in half, and I left these full length. And these are about 3 by 2 3/4. And then them will fit down in there, and they just barely come up to the bottom of the other pocket. So that gives you extra journaling space. Now if you want to because this is just white, you can either ink it or you could stamp it, but it's pretty much going to be covered up. Now for my paper, let me tell you how big this is first. This is 3. Oh, I already said 3 inches by 3/4. And I would normally make this just a little tiny bit longer, or I could just leave the whole thing like this and have this showing. But I think I like it like this. So I'm just going to fold that over, and I'm going to staple my paper. You can either glue it, you can run glue across the top of it and staple it in. And I've made grocery lists like that before. I'm just going to glue this over, and it'll cover up my staples. Yeah, I'll just use this because of the staples. And then I just folded it in half. Like I say, if I would have had a little bit more paper, then I would have made this longer. But it doesn't matter. And I have my marks up here where I want to set it. So I'm going to set them to that mark. I'm just going to glue on this part here. Now, instead of gluing this down, you could always make one little part of your paper. You could make a belly band to go across the paper here, and you would just have to cut your writing paper to fit it. So just glue that down. So you would have your belly band go across here. Then I think, let me see. Do I want this one? Or do I want this one? I think I'll put this on here just to give that a little something. And if it hangs above the little folio, you can trim it off. And if you don't care about it hanging above the folio, you don't have to worry about it. So there's our little mini folio. See, and them are hanging up there. But if you don't like that, you can just trim them. I might just trim them long ones off. There. So let me see, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4 things. Now these are just oh, I'm not done here. Wait just a minute. These go on my little pockets. I'll put a little lace on there. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Put a little lace. I'm going to put the lace in the center, I think. And just put my leaf over it. Had my leaves laying right there. I don't see how I missed them. Too busy yakking, I guess. All right, so there's that one. We're going to have that one aimed up. Let me see. I want it like this. We're going to have that one aimed up, this one aimed up, and that one aimed down. So I'm just going to glue this on. Move it up just a little bit. Okay. Now we'll do this one. When I first started doing these 12 by 12 projects, I didn't decorate anything. But some of these other, the 6 by 6 and the 12 by 12 projects, I've been decorating them because I just think It's just fun. And then you can actually see what it might look like when it's decorated. But if you wanted to make a bunch where they would be ready, you don't have to decorate them. Just put them, you know, cut them out and let it go. And then you can just decorate them when you get ready to use them. All right, so there you go. Now it's finished. If you want something on the back, you can put that on the back. You can put it in a pocket in your journal. You can paper clip it in, whichever you would like. Now these are just corner pockets, and this was cut from a 3" by 2 3/4" square. And that was right here by the topper for the notebook and this pocket. So all I'm going to do with these is just run some, oops, I'm messing everything up here. I'm just going to run some lace. I have to make sure I got the lace going the right way. Across the angle, and I'm going to leave it hang off. And I don't have tags to put in these pockets. This is just a spare. I had to use up the paper part. So you can put any kind of tag or paper, whatever you wanted in it. You just make a nice little extra spot on your journal page. So that one would sit like that. And we're going to glue this on here. Going to glue this one on here. Try to hang them down about the same. Now you can leave that out all the way, or you can trim it off. You can trim it down. And this one would sit this way. So we would have 2 pockets. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of greenery, just so there's a decoration on the pocket. How do I want to put it? Probably just something like this. So when you count your pockets and your tags, all of your little pockets and your tags, you get 15 pieces out of one 12 by 12. Put that like that. And that's quite a few pieces of ephemera out of one sheet. So these would just be 2 little pockets that you would add another tag to. Like that. Okay, now our very last thing, because it was a leftover piece of paper and we want to use the whole thing, and I've done it on my other videos also, is you make a ruffle. And it's just a long strip. It is 7 inches by 3/4. Now you can ruffle this out as big, as long and wide, or as small as you want. The other ones come out kind of small. I might try to make this one, and all you do, fold it under, just so you have it going like that. Figure out how wide you want your ruffles. Now a lot of people will sew these. I just glue them, and you could always do like a faux stitch line down the center with your pen. All right, so we're just going to go along, and we're going to glue these under. Use this. It's a heavier glue. Doesn't take a lot of glue. And I just shot a lot of glue under there. Let me wipe this off. So when you need a fill-in on your page, you just use your little ruffle. Just have to hold it for a minute. And it just makes a nice decoration on your page, on the top or on the side. Hard to see clear glue when it's underneath. And you just turn it over. Let me try this, see if it sets up faster. And just glue the back of the ruffle down also. I'm making a mess. Gluing my fingers to it. Okay, so there's our ruffle, and you can decorate your ruffle up just like you decorate your other stuff. So I'm going to put lace over my ruffle. You can have it off of the ends, you can have it to the end, whichever you choose. These look cute with little gems on them. Okay, get off of there. And I'm just going to finish it off with this leaf here. I'm just going to put the leaf in the center. And then that just kind of ties in with the other leaves. So I'm just going to kind of glue down the center of it. And then if I have to, I can go back and touch the leaves that might be loose. And there's my ruffle. So it just looks cute on the top or the side, or if you put it on the bottom of a page. Hopefully you can see that. You can also use it as another tuck spot. You can use it as a belly band, anything you want. All right, so let me move this stuff, and we'll look at our pieces. Video kind of ran a little bit longer than what I hoped, but hopefully you stayed by to see the end. So these are our pockets and tags. our little mini folio. No, yes, this is our little mini folio. This is our little trifold. And our little corner pockets. And I hope everyone enjoyed that. So now let me just see if I can get the page laid down on the desk and see if I can zoom you out just a little bit. Maybe you can take a screenshot if you'd like. There. Now you should be able to take a screenshot of that, and then you just enlarge it on your camera. So that's my video for today, and I hope y'all stop back to see me again next time. And until then, happy crafting, everyone. Bye for now.